It's 6:03 here, Tuesday, December the 3rd. It's 27 degrees right now. It'll be sunny, highs in the mid-40s. Won't feel that warm, though. Wind chills in the 30s again this afternoon. Good morning, I'm John Domen.
I'm Michelle Basch. Our top local story, in late July, a Manassas Park woman went missing, and her husband has been suspect number one for police in her disappearance. A grand jury has now charged the husband with murder. WTOP's Mike Murillo begins our team coverage on this story and says Manassas Bhatt will be in court this morning to face these new charges.
This all points to one person, which is Naresh.
And Manassas Park Police Chief Mario Lugo says what they believe happened is Manassas Bhatt killed his wife Mamta Kafle Bhatt in their bedroom, and her blood was found throughout the home. Key evidence for the grand jury, he says.
I know the crime scene was a big one. The forensic unit of Prince William County said it was one of the worst crime scenes they've seen.
Her body hasn't been found, but Lugo says it's believed Mamta was dismembered in the home, leading to a charge of defiling a dead body, too. Lugo says they're hopeful Mamta's remains will be found.
If new leads come in that potentially where she might be at, then we're going to follow up on that.
Members of her family attended a press conference on the indictment, and family spokesperson Holly Worth says
they want to see Manassas Bhatt prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Bhatt's original charge of concealing a dead body also remains. In Manassas Park, Mike Murillo, WTOP News.
Now, Manassas Bhatt's attorneys have previously said they believe his wife ran off. WTOP reached out to those attorneys for comment on this indictment, but we have not heard back.
I'm Neil Augenstein.
What I do feel sorry for is the daughter, because she's growing up without a mother and a father.
Angel Rhoda says she was a victim of domestic violence. She felt that connection to Mamta and helped in the searches.
The family needed a voice. They're new here. They're not accustomed to our customs here. It's a lot of changes for them.
She's long believed that Manassas Bhatt killed his wife and wished that he'd admitted it to let Mamta's family grieve.
People who have narcissistic tendencies, they don't have no feeling of remorse. And every time I came into the courtroom, he had no remorse.
Neil Augenstein, WTOP News.
New this morning, a woman is dead following an overnight house fire in Montgomery County. Montgomery County Fire and Rescue say they responded shortly after midnight to the Boyds area between Route 27 and Whites Ferry Road. This is Department spokesperson Pete Perringer.
This is a fatal fire. It's the fourth of the year in Montgomery County. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Firefighters arrived and encountered heavy fire conditions in this single-family home.
He says the home also had excessive storage and clutter conditions inside. Firefighters were able to rescue a dog.
Now, the police department in Montgomery County is facing some major staffing issues, like many other departments across the country. Next year, the department estimates it could lose 100 officers that are eligible to retire. They're also seeing huge vacancies in positions. County Police Chief Mark Yamada spoke to council members yesterday and brought up a temporary fix to the recruitment issues.
I'm exploring the possibility of redrawing district boundaries to equalize the workload between districts. This would be a pilot plan right now involving the 3rd and 4th districts and is an option as opposed to moving officers from one district to another. Keep in mind that any change is viewed as temporary. We could return to normal when our staffing stabilizes and when we see consistent improvement with our recruiting.
As we've been telling you, drones are being used by the police department to alleviate the workload as it allows officers to monitor cameras in real time.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
The White House Christmas tree gets most of the love around D.C. every year, but the U.S. Capitol does have its own Christmas tree, and its lighting ceremony takes place tonight. It'll be the 60th year that the Capitol has its own tree. This one sits on the west front lawn. It'll be lit every night until 11 p.m., all the way through January 1st. It's an 80-foot tall tree. It was chopped down from Alaska's Tongass National Forest. House Speaker Mike Johnson expected to deliver remarks at that ceremony tonight. It begins at 5 o'clock.
Coming up on WTOP in Money News, thousands walk off the job at one European automaker. Traffic and weather in 30 seconds.